Can fix this, la, whispered the greasy-looking boy, eyeing the luxury car. The millionaire let out a harsh, booming laugh, but in mere seconds, that kid was about to do the unthinkable and shut everyone up. The engine of the Rolls-Royce Phantom let out a massive poof of smoke right in the middle of Orchard Road, causing a massive traffic jam stretching 5 city blocks. Mr. Tan smacked the steering wheel so hard his gold wedding band scraped against the imported leather. That car cost him a bomb $3 million, and now it was a hunk of junk stuck in peak hour traffic, totally exposing how vulnerable he was for everyone to see. "Cannot be happening, man," he muttered, feeling sweat trickle down his forehead despite the still functioning aircon. Around him, drivers were tanjacking their horns relentlessly, some yelling insults out their windows. Mr. Tan was not used to being treated like this. He owned Tan's Luxury Imports, one of the biggest luxury car companies in Singapore, and now his own ride was betraying him in front of hundreds of people. He grabbed his phone and dialed the official service center. "Need a tow truck now. My Phantom stalled on Orchard Road." "Mr. Tan, our specialist tow truck is currently engaged, sir." "Might take up to 2 hours," replied the operator with that infuriatingly calm professional tone. 2 hours? Hainanese-style cook got time for this. He wasn't going to stay here for 2 hours, getting Kenna mocked. "Sorry, sir, but that is the estimated time." Mr. Tan slammed the phone down, feeling the rage bubble up. He glanced in the rear-view mirror and saw the long line of cars forming. People already taking out their phones to film. This was going to be news, memes, kio jokes. The great Mr. Tan, the luxury car expert, with his own car broken down on the road. That's when someone tapped on the window. "Mr. Tan spun around, ready to yell at whoever it was, but stopped dead when he saw a boy, maybe 12 years old, smeared with grease, wearing a faded, torn t-shirt. Messy hair fell over deep brown eyes that stared at him with a strange intensity. "Need help, mister?" the boy asked, his voice thin but firm. Mr. Tan rolled down the window just enough to reply. "Go away, Xiao kid. I don't accept charity." "Not asking for charity, sir. Offering help with the car." The laugh that escaped Mr. Tan's mouth was cruel and loud. "Help! You, a dirty little pajama boy. Want to help with a Rolls-Royce Phantom?" Ah Meng, the boy's name, didn't even flinch. He was used to this kind of reaction. "I know what's wrong by the noise the engine made before stopping. And the smoke, it's the cooling system overheating. Probably the water pump seized." Mr. Tan stopped laughing. How could this kid know that? "Listen, chupacabra," he said, opening the door and stepping out. At 6'1", he was almost double Ah Meng's height. "Don't know what game you're playing, but this car costs more than your whole house. Not letting you put one dirty finger on it. Then, you prefer to stay here until the tow truck arrives?" "Ah," Meng asked, pointing at the ever-growing line of cars. "Because from what I see, that's going to take a while." Mr. Tan looked around. People were already getting out of their cars, complaining, some edging closer with phones out. This was turning into a public spectacle. "My Agong works there." Ah Meng pointed towards a small, dingy workshop just meters away. "We fix cars for years already. Can I at least take a look? Your Agong?" Mr. Tan laughed again. "That Kopitiam backyard workshop? What you fix cancels old Hondas? This is a Rolls-Royce, kid. You got no idea how complex it is." Just then, 3 men in suits walked over. They were Mr. Tan's business partners, who were in a car right behind and had witnessed the whole scene. "Mr. Tan, what's the CM?" asked Alex Lee, trying hard not to laugh at the situation. "The Phantom choked," Mr. Tan replied, embarrassed. "And this Sotong?" asked another partner, looking Ah Meng up and down with disdain. "Says he can fix it," Mr. Tan said, and the 3 burst out laughing. "Ayo, must see this," said Alex, taking out his phone to record. "The kid from the 5-foot Way workshop is going to fix the luxury car expert's Rolls-Royce." "Make your jokes, la," Ah Meng said. His voice was still calm, but with a definite edge of challenge. "But if I fix it, how much you pay me?" "Mr. Tan looked at the boy with a mix of surprise and amusement. "You challenging me?" "I'm offering a service. Every service has a price." "Okay then," Mr. Tan said, crossing his arms. "If you, a 1-2-year-old Sotong, can make this $3 million car run again, I pay you $5,000. The partners laughed even harder. $5,000. "Mr. Tan, you gila or what? Relax la, mister," Tan said. "He won't manage, but it'll be fun to watch him try." Ah Meng showed no emotion. $7,000. "What?" Mr. Tan almost choked. $7,000. That's the fair price for the work and for the public Sankalan I'm suffering now. Mr. Tan looked at his friends, who were recording and laughing. This was already turning into social media content. Fine, kid. 7,000. But if you fail, you clean my car for free for a month. Deal? Meng extended his grease-stained hand. Deal. Mr. Tan looked at the hand with disgust but shook it anyway, just to keep the show going. You can start your sabo, he said, giving a sarcastic bow. Meng wasted no time, sprinting to the workshop and returning with a toolbox that looked bigger than him. He placed it on the ground next to the Rolls-Royce and popped the bonnet with an ease that surprised even Mr. Tan. He's actually going to do it, Alex mumbled, filming every move. Meng dove into the engine as if he knew every part by heart. His small hands moved with surgical precision, disconnecting hoses, checking connections, testing components. There was no hesitation, no wasted movement. See, he said after a few minutes, pointing at a specific part. Seized water pump, exactly like I said. Mr. Tan walked over, incredulous. He had actually diagnosed the problem correctly. Diagnosing is easy, he said, trying to regain control of the situation. Fixing is another story. Watch. Meng replied simply. What happened in the next 15 minutes left everyone silent. Meng dismantled the water pump with impressive speed, cleaned the parts, replaced one he'd brought from the workshop, and reassembled everything with the precision of a watchmaker. His fingers moved so fast it was hard to follow. This is impossible, Alex muttered, stopping his laughter. He's a kid who knows his stuff, added the other partner, genuinely impressed. Mr. Tan said nothing, just watched, feeling something strange in his chest. It wasn't admiration, he refused to admit it, it was confusion. How could this boy know so much? Done, Meng declared, closing the bonnet and wiping his hands on an old rag. Can I start it? Can I start it? Mr. Tan repeated, disbelieving. You really think start the car, Mr. Tan? Alex urged. Let's see if the Sotong is a wizard or just talk cock. Mr. Tan got into the car, his heart pounding. He didn't know what he wanted more, for the car to work or for it not to work. He turned the key, and the Rolls-Royce Phantom roared to life with perfection, smooth and powerful, just like the day it left the factory. The silence that followed was absolute. Even the drivers who were honking stopped to process what they had just witnessed. No, cannot be, Mr. Tan murmured, looking at the dashboard showing all systems running perfectly. Meng closed his toolbox. $7,000, as agreed. Mr. Tan got out of the car, his mind still trying to process what had happened. The partners were slack-jawed. The phones were still recording. How? How did you learn to do this? Mr. Tan asked. And for the first time, there was no mockery in his voice. My Gong taught me. Meng replied. Been working with him since I was 7. Fixed more than 200 cars already. Seriously? You're 12. And how old are you? 40, 50? And you couldn't even diagnose your own car problem. The answer felt like a slap in the face. The partners laughed, but this time, it wasn't at Meng, it was at Mr. Tan. Pay the Sotong, Mr. Tan, Alex said. He earned it. Mr. Tan pulled out his wallet, still stunned. He counted out $7,000 in bills and extended them to Meng, who took the money and counted it again in front of everyone. Thanks for the business, sir, Meng said, tucking the money into his pocket. Wait, Mr. Tan said, holding the boy's arm. Where did you learn about Rolls-Royces? These cars have complex systems, cutting-edge tech, learned by reading. Got all the technical manuals at home. My Gong always says, knowledge takes up no space. Technical manuals? For Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, all that I can find online. Study every day after school. Mr. Tan looked at this greasy boy who had just earned $7,000 by fixing in 15 minutes a problem the dealership would take hours to resolve, and he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Humility. What's your name? He asked. Meng Santos. Mr. Tan repeated. You impressed me today. Thanks, sir. Meng picked up his toolbox and started walking back to the workshop. Mr. Tan watched him go, feeling like something had changed that day. He had been defeated by a publicly humiliated boy, but strangely, he didn't feel rage. Mr. Tan, Alex, he called out. See what I saw? Saw a 1-2-year-old kid fixing a Rolls-Royce in 15 minutes. No, Alex showed his phone. I saw this on the screen. The video he had recorded already had 15,000 views and was being shared frantically. People weren't laughing at Mr. Tan. They were impressed with Ah Meng. The sotong just went viral, Alex said. Look at the comments. Mr. Tan read a few. This kid is a genius. Want him to fix my car. Talent has no age. The millionaire had to swallow his pride. Mr. Tan closed his eyes. This day was supposed to be humiliating, but somehow, he felt he had learned something important. Let's go, he said, getting into the now perfectly running Rolls-Royce. Got work to do. But as he drove back to the office, he couldn't stop thinking about the boy. Ah Meng Santos, a name he wouldn't forget anytime soon. What Mr. Tan didn't know was that this encounter was just the beginning. Destiny was about to intertwine their lives in a way neither could imagine. Ah Meng walked into the workshop with the $7,000 in his pocket, his heart still racing from adrenaline. Miguel Santos, his Ah Gong, was under an old suru, only his legs visible. The sound of tools echoed in the small, cramped space that served as both workshop and almost home for the two. Ah Gong, you won't believe what happened, Ah Meng said, pulling the money out of his pocket. Miguel slid out from under the car, his face lined from a lifetime of hard work. He was 42 but looked 10 years older. He wiped his hands on a rag and looked at his grandson with tired but loving eyes. What did you do now, my boy? Fixed a Rolls-Royce Phantom on the street and earned this. Ah Meng showed the money, the bill still crisp and new-smelling. Miguel looked at Mr. Tan's car entirely in disbelief. $7,000? Ah Meng, where did you get this money? I swear. Ah, Gong. A Rolls-Royce broke down in front of the workshop. The owner was an arrogant man who laughed at me. Bet I couldn't fix it. I did it in 15 minutes. Miguel took the money, counting the bills as if they might disappear any second. Boy, this is 4 months' rent. This is food on the table. This is proof you taught me well. Ah Meng finished, smiling. Tears welled up in Miguel's eyes. He hugged his grandson tightly, feeling immense pride mixed with a deep sadness. Ah, Meng was brilliant, talented, capable of things he himself would never achieve. But all that was being wasted in a neighborhood workshop, fixing old cars for peanuts. You deserve more than this. Ah Meng, Miguel said, his voice catching. You deserve to study at a good school, have real teachers, not stay here in this dirty workshop. Ah Gong, don't say that. You taught me everything. You're the best teacher I could have. But I can't give you what you need. I can't afford private school, technical courses, university. We will manage. Ah Gong, with this money, we can start saving already. Miguel nodded, wiping his eyes. You're right. We will save. We'll make this money stretch. What neither of them knew was that, at that exact moment, Mr. Tan was in his fancy office, watching the video of Ah Meng fixing the Rolls-Royce go viral on social media. It already had 500,000 views and was growing exponentially. This is incredible, said Caroline Tan, walking into her father's office with her phone in hand. At 17, she was everything Mr. Tan expected in a daughter. Smart, beautiful, well-educated. But lately, she had been questioning her father's values more and more. Papa, did you see the video? It's over 500,000 views already. Did I see it? Mr. Tan replied dryly, shuffling papers on his desk. And don't you think it's amazing? A 1-2-year-old kid fixing a Rolls-Royce. I think he was lucky. Probably saw the problem before in another car. Luck, Papa? He diagnosed the problem just by listening to the noise. That's pure talent. Mr. Tan sighed. He hated admitting it, but his daughter was right. That kid had something special, something he himself lacked despite all his millions. What do you want me to do, Caroline? Give him a trophy? I want you to recognize talent when you see it. That kid could be working for you, learning more, growing. He's a 1-2-year-old kid. There are labor laws, Papa. Can't just hire a kid. But you can help. You can pay for a course, a better school. And why would I do that? Caroline looked at her father with disappointment. Because you have the power to change his life. Because you have enough money not to even feel the lack of it. Because it would be the right thing to do. Mr. Tan fell silent. His daughter had the irritating gift of always touching the right raw nerve. I'll think about it, he finally said. Don't think too long. Opportunities like this don't wait. Caroline left the office, leaving Mr. Tan alone with his thoughts. He replayed the video, paying attention to every detail. The way Ah Meng moved, the confidence in his gestures, the surgical precision that wasn't luck. It was years of practice, study, dedication. And then he saw something he hadn't noticed before. In the background of the video, for a few seconds, was the workshop where Ah Meng had taken the tools. It was a tiny place with old equipment peeling paint, but above the door was a sign. Santos and Son, General Mechanics. Santos and Son, Mr. Tan murmured. So the Agong was really a mechanic. He took his phone and called his personal assistant. Leonardo, I need you to investigate a workshop for me. Investigate, sir? What do you want to know? Everything. How long in business? Financial status. Owner's history. I want a full report by tomorrow morning. Yes, sir. Mr. Tan hung up and looked at the video again. It was nearing 1 million views. People were sharing, commenting, making montages. Meng Santos had become a minor internet celebrity in a matter of hours. That night, in the simple house Miguel and Meng shared in a remote neighborhood, father and son were eating rice with egg when Meng's phone started ringing non-stop. What's happening? Miguel asked, worried. Meng picked up the phone, his eyes widening. Gong. Today's video has 1 million views. 1 million? How? People are sharing it. Look at the comments. Miguel read a few, in disbelief. This kid is more competent than many qualified mechanics. Someone hire this Sotong before another country steals him. Singapore wasting talents like always. I want to bring my car just for him to fix. Boy, this is serious. People are recognizing you. But that's good. It can't bring more customers to the workshop. Miguel was about to reply when there was a knock on the door. It was late, past 10 p.m. He opened it cautiously and found an elegant woman about 40 with a microphone in her hand and a cameraman behind her. Good evening. I'm Pat Mora from Channel News Asia. We're looking for Meng Santos, the boy who fixed the Rolls-Royce today. Miguel froze. CNA? How did you find where we live? The video is viral, sir. We did some digging and found the workshop address. Neighbors pointed us to your house. Can we do a quick interview with Meng? I don't know. He's a minor. Gong. It's okay. Meng appeared behind his father. I want to talk. The reporter smiled. Great. We can do it right here at the door. They switched on the cameras, and Patricia began. I'm here with Meng Santos, the 2-year-old boy who went viral today fixing a Rolls-Royce Phantom right on Orchard Road. Meng, how did you learn to do this? Meng looked into the camera naturally. My Gong taught me since I was small. He is the best mechanic there is. Miguel felt his eyes well up again. And how did you know what to do in such a complex car? Study, read technical manuals, watch videos, practice every day. Every car is a machine, and every machine has logic. You just need to understand how the parts work together. Do you plan to pursue a career in this area? Yes. I want to study mechanical engineering, open my own company one day. But first, I need to help my Gong grow the workshop we have. And what would you say to the people watching? Meng thought for a moment. That talent has nothing to do with money or expensive school. It has to do with dedication. My Gong taught me that. He never had much, but he always had wisdom. The interview lasted only 5 minutes, but when it aired on the late-night news, it caused an even bigger impact. People admired not only Meng's skill, but also identified with his story of overcoming adversity. Mr. Tan watched the interview at home, alone in his gigantic living room, and heard every word Meng spoke. He saw the way the boy spoke about his father with love and respect. He felt that strange thing in his chest, a mix of admiration and envy. His own son had died 5 years ago in a car accident. He was the same age as Meng at that time. Since then, Mr. Tan had thrown himself into work, accumulating wealth, but losing the capacity to feel. Caroline was all he had left, but he knew he was losing her too with his arrogance and coldness. Papa, did you see the interview? Caroline walked into the room. I saw it. And? And don't you feel like helping? Doing something? Mr. Tan fell silent for a long moment. What do you want me to do, Caroline? I don't know, but you have resources, contacts, power. That kid has talent. Together you could. Could what? I don't need a partner, much less a 2-year-old kid. It's not about you needing him. It's about him needing you. And why would that be my problem? Caroline looked at her father with sadness. Because before you became this cold, calculating person, you were a good man. Remember when Raphael was alive? You used to say you wanted to leave a legacy, make a difference in people's lives. The name of the dead son hit Mr. Tan like a punch. Don't talk about Raphael. If anyone has to talk, do you think he would be proud of what you've become? A man who has everything but shares nothing. Get out, Caroline. You need to hear this. That kid is the age Raphael was when he died. He has talent, he has dreams, he has a future. You can help him reach that future. I told you to get out, Mr. Tan shouted, standing up from the sofa. Caroline backed away, tears in her eyes. "You are impossible," she said before running out. Mr. Tan was left alone again, trembling with rage and pain. He hated it when Caroline brought up that topic. He hated remembering the son he lost. He hated feeling anything. But that night, when he finally went to sleep, he dreamt of Rafael. In the dream, his son was alive, smiling, playing with toy cars. And next to him was Ameng, teaching Rafael how to fix the small machines. "Papa," Rafael said in the dream. "Meng is my friend. You're going to help him, right?" "Mr." Tan woke up sweating, his heart racing. At 3 a.m., he picked up his phone and reread the report Leonardo had sent about the Santos & Son workshop. Founded 15 years ago. Owner: Miguel Eduardo Santos, Apatadu, widower. Wife passed away 3 years ago due to health complications. One son, Meng Santos. 12. Precarious financial situation, debts to suppliers, rent overdue, obsolete equipment. Average monthly revenue, $3,500. $3,500 a month? Mr. Tan spent more than that on a single meal at fancy restaurants, and this man was raising a genius on that ridiculous amount. He picked up the phone and typed a message to Leonardo. "I want to schedule a meeting with Miguel Santos tomorrow in my office." He hesitated before sending. What exactly did he want? Why was he doing this? He couldn't answer those questions, but he pressed send anyway. Leonardo replied immediately. "Yes, sir. Preferable time, noon. And sir, be polite when inviting. It's not an order, it's an invitation." "Understood, sir." Mr. Tan switched off his phone and looked at the ceiling. He felt like he was about to make a decision that would change everything. He didn't know if it was good or bad, but for the first time in 5 years, he felt like he was doing something right. The next morning, Miguel received a call from an unknown number. "Hello, Mr. Miguel Santos, good morning. My name is Leonardo Andrade. I am Mr. Eduardo Tan's assistant." Miguel almost dropped the phone. "Eduardo Tan, the Rolls-Royce owner?" "Exactly. Mr. Tan would like to invite you to a meeting today at noon in our office. Would that be possible?" "A meeting about what?" "About your son, sir, and about opportunities." Miguel looked at Meng, who was organizing tools in the corner of the workshop. "Opportunities?" "Yes, sir, Mr. Tan was very impressed with Meng's talent and would like to discuss some possibilities. May I confirm your presence?" Miguel didn't know if he should trust it, but something in Leonardo's polite voice convinced him. "Okay, noon. Where?" Leonardo gave him the address, and Miguel scribbled it down with trembling hands. Gong. Who was that?" Meng asked when he hung up. It was the man from the Rolls-Royce. "He wants to talk to us? About what?" "I don't know, son, but I think we're about to find out." At noon, Miguel and Meng stood in front of the most luxurious commercial building in the city. Mirrored glass, security at the door, imported cars in the parking lot. They felt completely out of place in their simple clothes and hands, stained with grease that no soap could fully clean. Gong, I'm scared," Meng whispered. "Me too, son, but we're going in." The security guard stopped them at the door. "Can I help you?" "We have a meeting with Mr. Eduardo Tan," Miguel said, trying to sound confident. The guard checked a list and nodded. 40th floor. Lift on the right. As they rode in the mirrored lift, Miguel and Meng saw their reflections, two simple, hard-working men in a world not made for them. But when the doors opened, Leonardo greeted them with a genuine smile. "Mr. Miguel, Meng, welcome. Please, follow me." They were led to a meeting room with a panoramic view of the city. Mr. Tan was standing, looking out the window with his back to them. "Mr. Tan, your guests have arrived," Leonardo announced before leaving. "Mr. Tan turned around slowly. For the first time, Miguel saw the man who had humiliated his son, but he also saw something in his eyes he didn't expect. "Please, Mr. Miguel." Meng, thank you for coming, Mr. Tan said, gesturing to the chairs. "Please, sit down. We have much to discuss." And as they sat, none of them imagined that this conversation would change their lives forever. The meeting room seemed even larger, with the heavy silence that settled after Mr. Tan invited them to sit. Miguel pulled out a chair for Meng and then sat next to his son, his sweaty hands resting on his knees. They had never been in such a luxurious place. The solid wood table shone under the indirect light. The paintings on the walls probably cost more than the entire workshop, and the panoramic view of the city through the floor-to-ceiling glass was stunning. Mr. Tan remained standing for a few seconds, studying the two. Father and son wore the same simple clothes from the day before, clean, but worn by time and work. The hands of both had grease stains that no soap could completely remove, permanent marks of those who work with their own hands. They were the absolute opposite of everything this office represented. Water? Coffee? Juice? Mr. Tan offered, trying to break the ice. "Water is fine, thank you," Miguel replied, his voice coming out lower than intended. "Mr." Tan poured 3 glasses of water from a crystal pitcher and finally sat down opposite them. Ah Meng observed every movement with those attentive eyes that missed no detail, the same attention he applied when studying engines and machines. "Mr. Miguel." "Ah Meng." "Mr." Tan began, bringing his hands together on the table. "I called you here because I need to say a few things. First, about yesterday." Miguel straightened up in his chair, ready to defend his son if necessary. "I was disrespectful, arrogant. I treated your son as if he were incapable when, in reality, he is extraordinarily talented." Mr. Tan paused, the words clearly costing him his pride. "I want to apologize to both of you." The apology completely caught Miguel by surprise. He had expected many things. Maybe a lawsuit because Ah Meng touched the car without formal authorization. Maybe a proposal to return the money, even a threat, but a genuine apology from a man like Mr. Tan? He didn't expect that. "Mr. Tan," Miguel said carefully, "my son did an honest job. You paid the agreed amount. There is nothing to apologize for." "Yes, there is," Mr. Tan insisted. "I paid for the service, but I didn't pay for the humiliations, for the laughter, for treating him as less capable, just because he is a child and poor." The word "poor" echoed in the room like a gunshot. Ah Meng lowered his eyes, and Miguel felt the anger start to boil, but he controlled himself. "We are poor, Mr. Tan." "Ah," Meng suddenly said, lifting his eyes with a dignity that surprised even Mr. Tan. "But that doesn't mean we are stupid. My Agong taught me that dignity has no price, and knowledge doesn't need money to be acquired." Mr. Tan smiled. A sad, almost melancholic smile. His father taught him well, better than many rich fathers managed to teach their sons. There was a moment of silence where the 3 men, because Ah Meng, even at 12, carried himself like a man, sized each other up. "But it wasn't just to apologize that I called you here," Mr. Tan continued, opening a folder on the table. "I investigated your workshop." Miguel tensed up. "Investigated?" "Yes. I know you have debts to suppliers, that the rent is 3 months overdue, that the equipment is obsolete, and that the monthly revenue barely covers basic bills. That is none of your business," Miguel said, his voice coming out harder now. "I know, and normally it wouldn't be. But after seeing your son's talent, after seeing the interview last night, after seeing how you talk about each other with love and respect," Mr. Tan paused, taking a deep breath. "I have a proposal." "What kind of proposal?" Miguel asked suspiciously. Mr. Tan opened the folder and took out several documents. "I want to invest in your workshop. I want to modernize it, equip it with top-of-the-line tools, create a specialized training center for luxury cars." Miguel's jaw dropped. "Invest? Why?" "Because Singapore is full of wasted talent. People like Ah Meng, who could be changing the world, but are trapped in situations that don't allow growth. I have the money, you have the talent. Together, we could create something extraordinary." "And what do you gain from this?" Miguel asked, still suspicious. In his experience, rich people never did anything without gaining something in return. "A share of the profits. 30% of the workshop would be mine. You two keep 70%, and full control of operations. I only invest money and bring in high-end clients." "Ah," Meng looked at his father, trying to read his expression. Miguel was processing the information, clearly divided between the opportunity and the mistrust. "How much investment are we talking about?" Miguel asked. "An initial $500,000, Mr. Tan replied calmly. Miguel almost fell off his chair. $500,000 was more money than he had seen in his entire life combined. $500,000? He stammered. "To start, modern equipment, complete renovation of the space, specialized training for you and Ah Meng, marketing, official certifications. I want to transform Santos & Son into the reference for luxury vehicle maintenance in Singapore." "But, Mr. Tan," Ah Meng intervened, "why would you do this? You yourself said yesterday we are a fifth-rate workshop." Mr. Tan closed his eyes, ashamed of his own words. "I said terrible things yesterday, things my late son would be ashamed to hear." "Your son?" Miguel asked softly. "Rafael died 5 years ago in a car accident. He was 12, the same age as Ah Meng. The room fell into absolute silence. Miguel felt his heart clench. He knew what it was like to lose a loved one. He had lost his wife 3 years ago. "I'm very sorry," Miguel said sincerely. "Thank you." Mr. Tan took a deep breath. Rafael was passionate about cars. He spent hours watching mechanics videos, taking apart toys to understand how they worked. He wanted to be a mechanical engineer when he grew up. Meng felt a lump form in his throat. That was exactly what he wanted. "When I saw your son yesterday, Mr. Tan continued, his voice catching. "When I saw the way he works, the passion in his eyes, the precision in his movements, I saw Rafael. I saw what my son could have been if he had the opportunity to grow up." Tears began to stream down the face of Mr. Tan, a man who hadn't cried in years, who had built an armor of coldness and arrogance to avoid feeling the pain of loss. "That's why I want to invest," he said, wiping his eyes shamelessly. "I can't bring my son back, but I can help another father give his son the opportunities I never managed to give mine." Miguel was also crying now. Two widowers, two fathers who knew the pain of loss, sat in a luxurious room sharing a grief that money could never heal. "Mr. Tan," Miguel said, his voice trembling, "I don't know what to say. Say you accept, say you let me do this, not for me, but for Meng, for the extraordinary talent he has." Meng looked at his father, awaiting his decision. Miguel was clearly struggling internally. Pride said to refuse, not to accept charity, but love for his son said to accept, to give Meng the opportunities he deserved. "Gong," Meng said softly. "Remember what you always say? That we can't let pride hinder progress." Miguel looked at his son and smiled through his tears. "When did you get so wise?" "Learned from the best teacher in the world," Meng replied, taking his father's hand. Miguel took a deep breath and looked at Mr. Tan. "We have conditions." "Of course, what are they?" "First, my son keeps studying. School comes before the workshop, always." "I completely agree," Mr. Tan said. "In fact, I want to add that to the contract." Meng will have a full scholarship at one of the best private schools in Singapore." Miguel's eyes widened. "Would you?" "I would. Talent without education is waste. Meng needs a strong theoretical foundation to complement his practical skills." "Second condition," Miguel continued. "We maintain control of operations. You invest, but you don't interfere with the day-to-day." "Perfect. I don't understand mechanics as much as you two. It would be foolish of me to interfere." "Third condition," Miguel said, more seriously now. "If you ever treat my son with disrespect again, the agreement ends instantly, no matter how much money is involved." Mr. Tan extended his hand. "You have my word, and if I break that word, you can keep everything. The workshop, the equipment, the clients, all of it." Miguel shook his hand, feeling like he was making a deal that would change everything. "So, do we have a deal?" Mr. Tan asked. "We have a deal," Miguel replied. Meng smiled. That wide, genuine smile of a boy who still believed the world could be good. "Excellent," Mr. Tan said, taking the documents. "I'll have my lawyer prepare the contracts. In the meantime, I want you to make a list of everything you need. Tools, equipment, renovations, with no value limit. I want to start as soon as possible. Mr. Tan." Meng said. "Can I ask a question?" "Sure. Why did you change?" "Yesterday was different." Mr. Tan smiled sadly. "My daughter Caroline told me something last night. She said, 'Before you became this cold, calculating person, you were a good man. Rafael would be proud.' And would he be?" Meng asked, with the brutal honesty only children possess. "Of the man I was yesterday? No. But of the man I'm trying to be today? I hope so." At that moment, the door opened, and Caroline walked in without asking permission. At 17, she had the same determination as her father, but with a heart that hadn't yet been hardened by life. "Papa, I knew you were here, and oh!" She stopped when she saw Miguel and, Meng. "Sorry, I didn't know you were still in a meeting." "It's okay, Caroline. Come, I want to introduce you. This is Miguel Santos and his son, Meng." Caroline walked over and shook both their hands with a genuine smile. "It's a pleasure to meet you in person. I'm your biggest fan, Meng. Saw the video like 20 times. Meng blushed. "Thanks, you're amazing." "At 12, doing things experienced mechanics can't manage. How did you learn all that?" "My Agong taught me," Meng replied, always giving credit to his father. Caroline looked at Miguel with respect. "So, you're the real genius here." Miguel shook his head, embarrassed. No. Meng is the one with the special gift. You two are special. Caroline said. And Papa, are you really going to invest in their workshop? I am, Mr. Tan replied, and there was pride in his voice. Caroline hugged her father, something she hadn't done in months. I'm proud of you, Papa. You're doing the right thing. Mr. Tan felt his eyes well up again. He didn't know how much he needed his daughter's approval until that moment. Ah, Meng, Caroline said, turning her attention back to the boy. Can I ask you a favor? Sure. Could you teach me about mechanics? About cars. I always wanted to learn, but my dad never. Mr. Tan interrupted, surprised. Papa, I was always interested, but you always said that's not for kakilang. Girls, remember? Mr. Tan felt ashamed, another one of his prejudiced attitudes being exposed. I'd love to teach you. Ah, Meng said, smiling. My Agong always says, shared knowledge is multiplied knowledge. Your Agong is very wise, Caroline said, looking at Miguel with admiration. Miguel was red from embarrassment and pride mixed together. He had never received so much positive attention in his life. Well, Mr. Tan said, standing up, I think we have a lot of work ahead of us. Miguel? Ah, Meng, how about we have lunch together? We can discuss the project details while we eat. Mr. Tan, we are not dressed appropriately for a fine restaurant, Miguel said, looking at his own clothes. Then we'll eat somewhere informal. I know an excellent chap fan, mixed vegetable rice, place that serves home-cooked food. Nothing pretentious. Ah, Gong, eating at a chap fan restaurant. Must take photo of this. Caroline joked. They left the office together, the millionaire, his daughter, the mechanic, and the boy genius. In the eyes of the employees who saw them pass, they were just 4 people, but for each of them, it was the beginning of something that would completely change their lives. Saturday morning started with Caroline Tan arriving at Santos & Son workshop at 7:30 sharp, wearing old jeans and a simple t-shirt that was probably the cheapest clothing she owned. Her hair was tied up in a ponytail, and she had a backpack on. Miguel and Ameng were already working. Their routine started at 6 a.m., every day without exception. Good morning, she called from the door, a little shy seeing the inside of the workshop for the first time. Ah, Meng crawled out from under an old Chevy, wiping his hands on the rag. Caroline, you really came? Of course I came, I promised, right? Miguel also approached, wiping his hands. Good morning, Caroline. Your papa knows you are here? Yes, in fact, he sent this. She took a thermal bag from her backpack. Breakfast. He said you probably work early without eating well. Miguel opened the bag and found fresh sweet bread, ham, cheese, fresh orange juice, and fruit. It was more food than he and Meng ate in a whole week. This is very kind, he said, excited by the gesture. My papa is trying, Caroline explained. Last night he couldn't stop talking about you, about the plans for the workshop. I haven't seen him this lively in years. They had an impromptu breakfast at an old table in the corner of the workshop. While they ate, Meng explained to Caroline about the cars they were fixing. 3 in total, all popular models with simple problems. This Chevy belongs to Ama Beatriz, Meng pointed. She's a taxi driver. The car had a problem with the starter motor. A new part costs $200, but I found a used one in good condition for $50. She doesn't have much money to pay. Do you give discounts for people who can't afford much? Caroline asked. We charge what is fair, Miguel explained. Beatrice works hard. I won't charge her the same as I would charge someone with more means. But you lose money like that. Money can always be earned more, Miguel said with simplicity. Dignity and a clear conscience are priceless. Caroline looked at these 2 men, father and son, who had so little but gave so much, and felt ashamed of the way she had always lived, surrounded by luxury, but empty of purpose. Can I help? She asked. Sure. Meng encouraged her. Come, I'll teach you the basics. They spent the whole morning working together. Meng was patient, explaining every tool, every component, every procedure. Caroline learned quickly and wasn't afraid to get her hands literally dirty. In 2 hours, she was covered in grease and sweat, but smiling more than she had in months. This is incredible, she said after helping Meng change the oil in a car. It's so real. Not theory and books, it's practice. That's why I love it, Meng said. Every car is a different problem, a new challenge. It's like solving a puzzle, but puzzles that help real people. Miguel watched the 2 young people working and smiled. Meng had always been solitary. Schoolmates found him strange for preferring to study engines over playing video games. But there he was, animated, teaching, making a friend. Around noon, a black Mercedes-Benz stopped in front of the workshop. It was a recent model, impeccable, completely outside the standard of cars that usually appeared there. A man around 50, expensive suit, arrogant posture, got out of the car. It was Alex Lee, one of Mr. Tan's partners, who had witnessed the Rolls-Royce scene. "Excuse me," he said, entering the workshop as if he were stepping on garbage. "Looking for the so-called boy genius." "Ah." Meng stood up, recognizing the man immediately. "That's me, sir." Alex looked Meng up and down with barely concealed contempt. "So, it's really you, the Sotong who went viral fixing Mr. Tan's car?" "Yes, sir. Can I help you with anything? Can you? My Mercedes has a strange noise in the engine. I already took it to 3 specialized workshops, and no one could identify the problem." "And you came here?" Miguel asked, surprised. "Came to test if the Sotong is really good, or if it was just luck with the Rolls-Royce." The way he said luck made it clear he was there to challenge, not to genuinely ask for help. "I can take a look," Meng said calmly. "How much do you charge?" "Depends on the problem, but first, I need to diagnose." Alex tossed the car keys to Meng with disdain. "Let's see what you can do." Meng took the keys and went to the Mercedes. He started the engine and listened carefully, his head slightly tilted, eyes closed. After a minute, he turned it off and opened the bonnet. "How long to find out?" Alex asked, looking pointedly at his watch. "Already found out," Meng replied. "The problem is in the alternator belt tensioner. It's loose, that's why the belt vibrates and makes noise. It's not serious yet, but if you don't fix it, it will damage the belt and can cause bigger problems." Alex froze, clearly surprised. "How do you know that?" "From the sound. The belt vibration has a specific frequency. I learned to identify it by listening. And you can fix it." "I can, but not here. I need specific equipment to adjust the tensioner with the correct precision. If I do it wrong, it could get worse." "So, you can't fix it," Alex said with a victorious smile, as if he had proven. Meng was a fraud. "I didn't say that. I said, I can't fix it here with the equipment we have now. But I can recommend a specialized Mercedes workshop that has the right tools. Or you can wait a few weeks until our renovation is ready." "What renovation?" It was Miguel who answered. "We are doing a partnership with Mr. Eduardo Tan. He's investing in modernizing the workshop." Alex's expression completely changed. "Eduardo is investing here?" "Yes. Initial $500,000. Alex looked visibly disturbed by the information. "Eduardo didn't tell me anything about this." "Maybe because it's none of your business," Caroline said, walking out from the back of the workshop with a frown. She had recognized Alex immediately. He often dined at her house and always gave her that invasive look that made her uncomfortable. "Caroline?" Alex's eyes widened. "What are you doing here?" And in that state, she looked at her own grease-stained hands and smiled with pride. "I'm learning mechanics." "Any problem?" "Your papa knows you are here. He knows and approves, unlike you, who apparently came here to do a quality check as if you own the truth." Alex turned red with rage. "Caroline, this is no place for you. Come, I'll drive you home." "No, thanks. I'm very well here." "Caroline, I insist." "And I refuse. Now, if you don't need Meng's services anymore, please move your car. There are other customers waiting." It was a lie. No one was waiting, but Caroline had learned to use her father's authoritative tone when necessary. Alex looked at everyone there. The boy genius, the mechanic father, and his partner's daughter. Completely comfortable in that humble environment, and felt something he didn't expect to feel. Envy. Envy of the simplicity, the authenticity, the genuine connection these people had. "How much do I owe you for the consultation?" he asked. Meng, taking out his wallet. "You don't owe me anything. Diagnosing is not a service, it's courtesy." "Courtesy?" Alex repeated incredulously. "Yes, sir. You only pay if I actually fix something." Alex took out $2,000 and placed it on the counter. "Then this is for honesty. Seems to be scarce in the world." Meng took the money, but he didn't feel happy about it. It felt more like an offense, disguised as praise. Alex left the workshop, got into the Mercedes, and drove off without looking back. As soon as the car disappeared, Caroline exploded. What a horrible man. He was always like that, arrogant, believing he's better than everyone. "Do you know him well?" Miguel asked. "Unfortunately, he's been my papa's partner for 10 years. Always fake. Always tried to take advantage of everything. I don't trust him one bit." "Why is your papa partners with him then?" Meng asked. "Because Alex is good at making money, but that doesn't make him a good person." Miguel put the $2,000 in the drawer. "Well, At least he paid. Money is money, no matter who it comes from. Ah, Gong is right. Ah Meng agreed. We can't choose our clients based on their personality. They went back to work, but Alex's visit had left a bitter taste in the air. Caroline especially was worried. She knew Alex well enough to know he didn't do anything without a second intention. Towards the end of the afternoon, when Caroline was getting ready to leave, Mr. Tan arrived at the workshop. He was driving personally, which was rare for him, and he had a worried look. "Papa, what are you doing here?" Caroline asked. "I need to speak to Miguel privately." Miguel looked at Ah Meng and Caroline. "Can you two go for a walk? Go grab an ice cream? Anything." Ah Meng was about to protest, but Caroline took his arm. "Come, I'm treating. Let them talk." When they were alone, Mr. Tan went straight to the point. "Alex was here today." "He was. How do you know?" "He called me. Said he's worried about my investment in a backyard workshop without proper structure." Miguel felt the anger rise. "Backyard workshop? He came here to test Ah Meng, and my son diagnosed his Mercedes problem in 1 minute." "I know. I'm not questioning your competence. I'm warning you that Alex is going to try to sabotage our partnership." "Sabotage? Why?" "Because Alex doesn't like it when I do something without consulting him first, and because he is envious of any good thing that happens to other people. What can he do?" Mr. Tan sighed. "He has influence. He knows people in the automotive sector, in regulatory bodies, in suppliers. If he wants to make it hard for you to get certifications, parts, permits, he can." Miguel sat down, feeling the weight of reality. "So, are you saying our partnership is threatened before it even starts?" "No. I'm saying it will be more difficult than we imagined, but not impossible." "Miguel, look around. I have debts, old equipment, clients who can barely pay. If your partner decides to destroy me, he'll manage easily." "No, if I don't let him," Mr. Tan said with determination. "Alex is my partner, but that doesn't mean he's the boss of me. I have already made my decision. I am going to invest in your workshop, and no one is going to stop me. But what if that affects your business? What if you lose money because of me?" "Miguel, I have more money than I can spend in 3 lifetimes. I can lose a few million and not even feel a difference in my standard of living. But you two, you will feel every cent of this investment. You will turn this into something significant. How can you be so sure?" "Because I saw Ah Meng work. I saw the way you raised him. I saw the values you have. I have invested millions in companies that looked promising on paper but failed because the people behind them lacked character. You two have it, and that's worth more than any business plan." Miguel felt his eyes well up. "Why do you trust us so much?" "Because you reminded me of what really matters. Because you gave me hope again." Mr. Tan paused, his voice catching. "Because helping you is the way I found to honor my son. Raphael would have loved to meet Ah Meng. He would have loved to see a kid with so much talent, getting the opportunities he never had." The two men fell silent for a moment, each processing their own emotions. "So, what do we do about Alex?" Miguel finally asked. "We do our job well done. So well done, that even he won't be able to deny the quality. We are going to make this workshop so good that when people hear Santos and Son, they think of excellence. That will take time. We have time, and we have talent, and now we have resources. That's enough." Mr. Tan extended his hand again. "We are in this together." Miguel shook his hand tightly. "We are." When Ah Meng and Caroline returned from their ice cream, they found the two men smiling and discussing renovation plans. "All sorted?" Caroline asked. "All sorted," Mr. Tan confirmed. "By the way, I brought something for you." He went to the car and returned with a huge box. "Ah Meng, this is for you." Ah Meng opened the box, and his eyes widened. They were technical manuals, dozens of them, for every luxury car brand imaginable. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Bentley, Aston Martin. Some were rare editions, others were recent updates that cost hundreds of dollars each. "This must have cost a fortune," Miguel said. Jaw dropped. It did, but seeing Ah Meng's face now is priceless. Ah Meng was paging through the manuals with reverence, as if they were sacred treasures. "Thank you, Mr. Tan. Thank you, really." "No, Ah Meng. Thank you for reminding me why I went into this business so many years ago. It wasn't for the money. It was for the passion for machines, for the desire to understand how things work." Caroline watched her father interact with Ah Meng and Miguel and noticed a change in him. His shoulders were less tense, his smile more genuine. His eyes had a sparkle she hadn't seen in years. Those two humble mechanics were doing for her father something that years of therapy couldn't achieve. They were making him feel human again. "Papa," she said, I think this was the best decision you ever made." "I think so too, La," he replied. "I think so too." That night, after Mr. Tan and Caroline left, Miguel and Ameng stayed in the workshop until late studying the new manuals. The weak light of the single bulb illuminated their heads bent over the books, father and son, absorbing knowledge like sponges. "Ah Gong, Ah Meng," said at one point, "is this what Mr. Tan expects?" Miguel looked at his son. 12 years old, tired eyes, but full of determination, small hands, but skilled beyond his age. "Son, we've achieved something many people never achieve in a lifetime." "What?" "We made someone believe in us. And when someone believes, everything becomes possible." Ah Meng smiled and returned to studying the manuals. He had so much to learn, so much to do, so much to prove, but for the first time in his life, he felt he had the right tools, not just the physical ones, but the emotional ones too. He had a father who supported him, a mentor who believed in him, and a friend who saw him as an equal. The future was still uncertain. Alex Lee represented a real threat. The workshop renovation would be a huge challenge. The new school would be a difficult adjustment. But none of that mattered now, because for the first time, Ameng Santos believed he could be more than a poor boy from a neighborhood workshop. He could be an engineer, an entrepreneur, a teacher. He could be everything he dreamed of. And dreams, when fed by hard work and supported by the right people, have a strange way of coming true. Ah Meng had never felt as happy as he did on his first Monday at the Cervantes school. The new uniform still smelled of fresh fabric, the backpack full of notebooks without a single line written, and the wide corridors seemed like a completely different world from the public school he attended before. In physics class, the professor presented a complex problem on thermodynamics applied to combustion engines. Ah Meng solved it in 3 minutes, leaving the whole class in silence. "Impressive, Ah Meng," the professor said. "You truly understand this deeply." During recess, classmates approached with curiosity. "You're the Sotong from the video, right? The one who fixed the Rolls-Royce?" For the first time in his life, Ah Meng felt accepted, admired. The joy lasted until 11:15 a.m. when his phone vibrated with a call from Miguel. "Ah Gong, I picked up. Everything okay?" The voice that answered was trembling, broken. "Son, the workshop was closed down." Ah Meng's world stopped. "What? Closed down how?" "The agency inspection team arrived half an hour ago. They said, we have structural irregularities, that we don't have the correct permits, that the equipment doesn't meet standards." Miguel paused, and Ameng heard the desperation in his breathing. "Son, they sealed everything. We can't work, or even enter." "But that makes no sense. The workshop always worked." "I know, but they have documents, official seals. They say someone made an anonymous report." Ah Meng felt the rage boil. Anonymous report. Alex Lee. It had to be him. "Ah Gong, did you call Mr. Tan?" "I called. He's coming." But Ah Meng, the voice failed him. "Without the workshop, we have nothing. The clients are leaving, the debts continue. Everything will be fine," Ah Meng said. "Son, I'm coming back now." "No, you stay at school. Education comes first." "But, Ah Gong, please, let me solve this." Ah Meng hung up, his heart broken. He couldn't pay attention to any more classes. At 3 p.m., when school ended, he ran to the bus stop. When he got off near the workshop, what he saw made him stop completely. There was a crowd. At least 50 people were gathered in front of Santos and Son, holding signs, shouting, protesting. The workshop was sealed with yellow tape, but the people didn't care. "Justice for Ah Meng," the signs read. "Talent is not a crime. Let the workshop operate." Ah Meng approached, stunned. He recognized Ama Beatrice, the customer with the Chevy, with tears in her eyes. Ah Pec Arnaldo, the bakery owner. Ama Lucia, a retired teacher. Dozens of people from the neighborhood he had known his whole life. "Ah Meng, ah Ma." Beatrice ran to hug him. "My boy, what an injustice. Ah Ma, Beatrice, what is all this? When we found out they closed the workshop, we organized. Your Ah Gong and you have helped everyone here for years. You fixed our cars when we had no money. Now it's our turn to help you." Ah Meng felt his eyes well up. For years, he had felt invisible. Just another poor kid doing what he could. But these people had seen. They cared. He entered the workshop, stepping over the ceiling tape. Miguel was sitting on a bench, head in his hands, while Mr. Tan was talking to a man in a suit who was writing everything down on a tablet. "Ah Meng." Mr. Tan saw him. "You should be in school." "I couldn't stay. No, not when my Ah Gong is losing everything." Miguel looked up, his eyes red. Son. Ah. Meng hugged his father tightly, feeling him tremble. We'll solve this, Gong. Together. Mr. Tan approached. I already know who is behind this. Alex Lee. Meng said. It wasn't a question. Alex used contacts at the agency, paid inspectors to find irregularities. Technically, everything is legal. The workshop really didn't have all the updated permits, but the time frame was absurdly fast, clearly orchestrated. And now? Miguel asked, without hope. Now, we fight. I brought Julian, he pointed to the lawyer, a specialist in administrative law. We are going to challenge every irregularity, prove bad faith in the inspection, but that will take weeks, and in the meantime, we can't work. I'll pay the expenses, Mr. Tan said. I'm a partner, remember? If the workshop closes, I lose too. Caroline ran in, phone in hand. Papa, you have to see this. She showed the screen. It was a video going viral, filmed in the crowd. It showed, Ma Beatriz, speaking to the camera. These men, Miguel and Ameng Santos, are heroes of this neighborhood. When my car broke down and I had no money, they fixed it for free. This workshop isn't a business. It's hope for people who have nowhere to go. The video already had 500,000 views. People are on our side, Caroline said. All of Singapore is watching this injustice. Meng looked out the window. The crowd had grown. There were TV cameras now, reporters, cars honking in support. This is what happens when you touch real lives, Mr. Tan said. You matter to a lot of people. Julian closed the tablet. I have good news. I got an emergency injunction. A judge agreed to look at it as a priority, considering the social impact. Hearing tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tomorrow? Miguel's eyes widened. When there is public interest, justice can be fast. And with this commotion, he pointed outside. No judge will want to be the villain. The door burst open. Alex Lee walked in with 2 security guards. Eduardo, we need to talk. We have nothing to talk about with you anymore. Yes, we do about you destroying our company over this ridiculous project. Careful with your next words, Mr. Tan said, his voice dangerous. Or what? You'll hit me? Alex laughed. You're pathetic. Ever since your son died, you've become a shadow. Now you found this Sotong and think you can compensate. Newsflash. Rafael is dead. No amount of charity is going to bring him back. The silence was absolute. Mr. Tan turned pale, trembling. It was Miguel who stood up, placing himself between the two. Get out of my workshop. Your workshop. This pigsty is closed. I said, get out. Alex invaded Miguel's space. You, a failed mechanic who barely manages. He didn't finish. Meng, 12 years old, 4'11", placed himself in front of his father, facing Alex. You don't speak to my Gong like that. The bravery took Alex by surprise. Move, Sotong. No, my Gong is worth more than you will ever be. He taught me honesty, hard work, dignity. What do you teach? How to destroy people out of envy. Envy of you? Alex laughed nervously. I have millions. Why would I envy a dirty grease boy from the neighborhood? Because I have something money can't buy. Meng replied firmly. People who truly love me. A father who would give his life for me. Friends who came to defend our workshop. What do you have? Paid guards and a rotten reputation. The crowd outside erupted in applause. Alex turned red. You're going to regret this. No, he won't regret it, Mr. Tan finally spoke, standing beside Meng. Because tomorrow, I will present evidence that you bribed inspectors. I have recordings, transfers, witnesses. You will lose everything. Alex paled. You have no proof of anything. Mr. Tan played an audio clip on his phone. Alex's voice. I need you to create difficulties for Santos and Son. How much to find serious irregularities? The blood drained from Alex's face. Where did you get that? An inspector you tried to bribe has a conscience. He recorded everything. So, you're going to leave now, sign papers withdrawing objections, and sell your share of the company. In return, I don't hand this over to the police force. You can't. I can, because if not, tomorrow you'll be in jail for corruption. And with this public visibility, no lawyer can save you. Alex was cornered. This isn't over. It is over. Now get out and never come near this family again. Alex left under the jeers of the crowd. Miguel sat down, his legs failing him. You really have that evidence? I do. I investigated Alex a week ago. I discovered much worse things. Why didn't you tell me? Because I needed to be sure, and I didn't want you two to worry. Meng looked at Mr. Tan with admiration. You risked everything for us. I did the right thing. Alex was poisoning my company for years. You gave me the courage to face him." Caroline hugged her father, crying, "I'm so proud." The next morning, the hearing was quick. With the recordings, the judge suspended the closure and ordered an investigation into the inspectors. Santos and Son was released, but when they came out of the courthouse, more than 200 people were waiting. Old clients, neighborhood residents, students from Cervantes, journalists. When they saw Miguel and Ameng, they erupted in applause. "Justice has been served. Ameng! Ameng! Ameng!" Ameng looked at that crowd and felt something new belonging to something bigger, knowing that his talent had touched real people. Miguel hugged him, crying, "We did it, son." "No. Gong, you did it. You raised me well, taught me everything. You gave me a reason to continue. After your mother died, you were my only reason." Mr. Tan watched from afar with Caroline. "He reminds me so much of Raphael. But, Meng is not Raphael. He's someone new you are helping. And that is beautiful in the same way. I wasted 5 years closed off in pain. I thought honoring Raphael meant never moving forward. And now I know honoring Raphael means doing exactly this. Helping talented kids. That's what my son would have wanted." 3 months later, Santos and Son was unrecognizable. The small space had been expanded, occupying 2 adjacent units. State-of-the-art equipment, hydraulic lifts, diagnostic computers, everything a mechanic could dream of. The new sign read, "Santos and Son, Automotive Excellence Center, in partnership with Tan's Luxury Imports, where talent meets opportunity." The opening gathered hundreds of people. Meng, in a new uniform, made the presentation. "This workshop was always more than a job. It was where I learned that knowledge transforms lives, where my Gong taught me that honesty is worth more than profit, where I discovered that talent doesn't need money, it just needs opportunity." Applause resonated. Today, we open not just a renovated workshop, but a training center. We will offer free courses for neighborhood youths, study scholarships for the best ones. We will prove that opportunity changes destinies. Miguel approached the microphone shyly. "I'm not good with words, but I want to thank the person who changed our lives." Mr. Eduardo Tan could have continued laughing at my son, but he chose to see beyond prejudice. He chose to believe. "Thank you, my friend." Mr. Tan went up, emotional. "I am the one who is thankful. You saved me from myself. You reminded me why it's worth living." He looked up at the sky. "Raphael, wherever you are, I hope you are proud." At the end of the day, when the crowd dispersed, Eduardo, Caroline, Miguel, and Ameng sat in the new office, a room with glass, air conditioning, modern computers. "I can't believe this is real." Meng said. "It's real because you deserved it," Mr. Tan replied. "Every piece of equipment here, you conquered with talent." Caroline came back with a box. "Meng, my papa asked me to keep this for you." Meng opened it and found antique but impeccable tools. "These were Raphael's, Mr. Tan explained, his voice catching. "He received them when he turned 10. I kept them after we lost him, but I think he would like you to have them." Meng held a small wrench. "Mr. Tan, I can't." "Yes, you can, because you're going to use them to do what Raphael dreamed of. Repair the world, one machine at a time." Meng clutched the tools to his chest. "I will take care of them, I promise. They are yours now." And Raphael is happy knowing his legacy continues. They stayed there for hours, talking about dreams, future plans. "Meng," Mr. Tan said, "where do you see yourself in 10 years? I want to have graduated in mechanical engineering, expanded this center to other towns, so that no talented kid gets left behind due to lack of opportunity. And you will achieve it, I'm sure." Miguel stood up, extending his hand. "To the true partners." Mr. Tan shook it. "To the true friends." Meng and Caroline joined, putting their 4 hands together. "To the talents that transform lives," Caroline said. "To second chances," Meng completed. Outside, the sun was setting over the city. In that small corner, in a workshop saved from destruction, 4 people had proven that kindness conquers cruelty, talent overcomes prejudice, and love can change the world. Meng looked at Raphael's tools and made a silent promise. He was going to honor that gift by being the best version possible, not just for himself, but for all who believed. Because in the end, the dirty, ridiculed boy from the grease pit had proven the most important lesson. Talent doesn't need wealth to shine. It just needs an opportunity. And when that opportunity meets hard work, humility, and a pure heart, No force can stop success. The following months were a complete transformation. The workshop became a reference not only in the neighborhood but throughout the city. Clients with luxury cars lined up to be served by Ameng and Miguel, but they never abandoned their old clients. Ma Beatrice still brought her taxi. Ape Carnaldo, and all of them received the same dignified treatment. Caroline became an integral part of the team. She studied automotive mechanics with obsessive dedication, and Meng was a patient teacher. In the afternoons, after her junior college classes, she would arrive at the workshop and work until closing. The relationship between them evolved from friendship to something deeper. They were like siblings, united by a shared love for machines and mutual respect. You know what's the best part of this? Caroline said one day, as they cleaned up together after a long day. It's not just learning mechanics. It's discovering that I can be more than the rich daughter of a businessman. You were always useful, Meng replied. You just needed to find your purpose, and you helped me find mine, just like you helped my Gong find his again. Mr. Tan had completely changed. The coldness that characterized him since Raphael's death had vanished. He spent less time in the office of Tan's luxury imports and more time in the workshop, not because he needed to supervise, but because he genuinely enjoyed being there. He had rediscovered the passion that had driven him to the automotive world in the first place. One afternoon, while watching Meng work on a Ferrari, Mr. Tan felt a familiar presence. It was as if Raphael were there, smiling, proud to see his father had finally found peace. "Are you okay, Papa?" Caroline approached, noticing the tears in Mr. Tan's eyes. "I'm more than okay, la daughter. For the first time in 5 years, I feel whole." The first anniversary of the partnership was marked with a special ceremony. Meng had finished his first year at Cervantes School with the best grades in his cohort. At 13, he had already given several talks on automotive mechanics at public schools, inspiring hundreds of youths to pursue their dreams regardless of their circumstances. "Ladies and gentlemen," Mr. Tan announced in front of an audience of over 300 people in the rented event hall. "A year ago, I met a boy who taught me that a person's true worth is not in their bank account, but in their character. Meng Santos didn't just save my car that day. He saved me." The crowd applauded as Meng, still shy with so much attention, walked onto the stage. "Today, Mr. Tan continued, I want to announce the expansion of our project. Santos & Son will open 3 new training centers in different parts of the city. Each will offer free automotive mechanics courses to underprivileged youths. Because if there is one Meng in this neighborhood, there are hundreds more across the city waiting for their chance." The ovation was deafening. Miguel was crying in the front row, unable to believe how his life had changed. From an indebted mechanic about to lose everything, he was now a co-owner of a prosperous and respected company. But more than the money or the success, what he valued most was seeing his son happy, fulfilled, with a bright future ahead. That night, after the celebration, the 4 of them, Eduardo, Caroline, Miguel, and Meng, stood on the rooftop of the renovated workshop building. The city spread out before them, millions of lights flickering in the darkness. "Do you remember the day we met?" Mr. Tan asked. "How can we forget?" Meng laughed. "You thought I was a charlatan, and I thought you were arrogant and impossible," Miguel added. "I was," Mr. Tan admitted shamelessly. "But you showed me a mirror I didn't want to see. You showed me I had become someone Raphael wouldn't recognize." "Papa," Caroline said, taking his hand, "Raphael would be proud of the man you are now." "I am proud." Mr. Tan hugged his daughter, then extended his arms to include Miguel and Meng. The 4 of them stood there, hugging, looking at the city that had witnessed their transformation. "You know what I learned this year?" Miguel said. "That family doesn't always come from blood. Sometimes it comes from circumstances, from fate, from the will of 2 strangers to see beyond their differences." "We are no longer strangers," Mr. Tan said. "We are family, and families support each other, take care of each other, grow together." Meng looked at the city lights and thought of all the kids down there, in all the poor neighborhoods, who had talent but no opportunity. He thought about how a single moment, a broken down car, a risky bet, an extended hand, had changed not only his life, but the lives of so many others. "I'm going to dedicate my life to this," he said with conviction. "To finding those kids who have talent but no voice. To giving them what you all gave me." "You won't do it alone," Caroline said. "I'll go with you." "We will go with you," Mr. Tan corrected. "This is just the beginning." Years passed. Meng graduated from Cervantes with honors. He received a full scholarship to study mechanical engineering at the National University of Singapore at 22. He received the award for the best mechanical engineering student in the country. On stage, with the award in his hands, he thanked Maya Gong Miguel, who taught me everything, Mr. Eduardo Tan, who gave me opportunities, and Rafael, who, although he is not here, inspired me to never give up. Santos and Son had 12 branches across the city. Each offered free courses. They employed neighborhood youths, maintaining the philosophy. Profit is important, but dignity is priceless. Miguel managed the company alongside Mr. Tan. They were more than partners, they were brothers. Caroline became a mechanical engineer working at Tan's luxury imports, but spent her weekends at the workshop teaching for free. And Meng became exactly what everyone believed, not just a brilliant mechanic, but an exceptional human being who used his talent to uplift others, because that cruel bet had turned into the most beautiful story of redemption Singapore had ever seen. And whenever Meng was asked what his best repair was, he answered, it wasn't the Rolls-Royce. It was repairing the heart of a man who had forgotten how to love, and in return, he repaired my entire life. In the original workshop, now converted into a museum and training center, there was a plaque on the wall. It all started here, where a boy proved that talent knows no borders, where a man found redemption, where a family was born from the most improbable of circumstances. May this place always remember, one single opportunity can change the world. And every day, hundreds of youths walked through that door, looked at that plaque, and dared to dream, because if Meng Santos could do it, they could too. And that in the end was the real repair, not of cars, but of hopes, not of engines, but of lives, not of machines, but of destinies.